Hey everyone, I'm Ultraviolent4 and I'm welcoming you to a new Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup run. This playthrough goes out to a couple of people, but the most recent that I can remember is Pimfeldorf, I hope I said that right, who asked me to play a ghoul. It's in the simple category, an undead creature damned to rot eternally. They have sharp claws, they feed on decaying flesh. Alright. Before we do it though, I've got a secret about ghouls. This is probably a secret that the devs do want you to know, and that's that I am really bad at them. So I played 70 ghoul games and won once. Not pretty. So this might be a good example of a playthrough where you can watch to find out what not to do. And we're going to be playing an Ice Elementalist. Oh god. Apparently there's a guide for Ghoul AM. Wow, that sounds awesome. Alright, we're going to be playing an Ice Elementalist. That is one we've previously done on the channel, but kind of came to a short and gruesome end the last time it was attempted. Alright, here we go. So let's have a look at ourselves first. We have a whole lot of different innate abilities, weirdnesses, and mutations. So Ghoul is an undead race, and as an undead, you get a bunch of different things. You get cold resistance, you're immune to negative energy, and there are a few other things, such as being immune to torment. Apparently we can survive without breathing, that's nice to know. Being undead means you're always vulnerable to Dispel Undead and any Holy Wrath weapons. We also can't berserk, we can't be mutated. What else? It doesn't say here. Oh yeah, it does. You're immune to poison. Yeah. So it's pretty good. Being immune to poison is always pretty nice in the early game. But there are some other things that make Ghoul unique. The first is that your body rots. And here, we thrive on raw meat. So as a Ghoul, you're eternally hungry. You can never be engorged. As much as you eat, the best you can ever do is full. You can never starve to death though. But if you don't eat regularly enough, you start becoming rotted. And so your health starts dropping. When you eat chunks, your health gets restored. Both in terms of the rot, but also it's another cool nifty thing that when you eat chunks, it actually heals you. So in the early game, as a Ghoul, particularly on the first couple of dungeon floors, if you have chunks of meat, it's pretty hard to die because your healing from eating will, I was going to say out damage most damage, but that's kind of the opposite. I think you know what I meant. Alright. And then you can eat any type of meat, so there's no such thing as poisonous meat. You can eat mutagenic chunks and it's just like eating as well. And then there's another thing here that you don't naturally regenerate when you can see any monsters. So for instance, this would be a pretty nice place to start on most characters because we've got these nice dungeon features here that if you got hurt, you could loop around them. Monsters would chase you, but you'd slowly regenerate. As a Ghoul, that's not going to work. So we're not going to try to kite things that way. Let's have a look at our training. And just Ghouls in general. So they have claws. It's only one rank of claws though. So if you think of a troll whose claws are insane, it's because they have level 3. Each level of claws mutations gives you +2 slay. So Ghoul gets +2. It's kind of good, but it's not amazing. I don't know. As you saw, whenever I try to be an unarmed combat Ghoul, it always goes pretty badly for me. But anyway, they've got fairly bad aptitudes across the board. A nice fighting aptitude combined with +10 HP though makes them relatively tanky. They're good at unarmed combat, so the standard way to play a Ghoul is to be some sort of unarmed fighter. But if you have a look, -2 spellcasting is not good. But you can always eat and you can never starve, so spellcasting is not the biggest deal. But they've got a 0 for necromancy, and then they've actually +1 for ice magic, which is good, and +1 for earth magic. And there are +1 invocations race, so that's also not terrible. Alright, so we're going to turn on our fighting. Probably not dodging, probably not armor. For the moment, we're going to go fighting for our main offense. It's probably worth having spellcasting on because that gives us some extra magic points. Although at a -2 aptitude, it's not giving amazing returns. We're going to focus our ice magic and also turn off stealth. So that's going to be our training, at least for this beginning bit. So we're going 25, 25, 50. Cool. That's just showing now what we can actually train. And as an Ice Elementalist, we started off with the Book of Frost. I think I quite like this book as a starting book. So Freeze is an interesting spell. You've got to be in melee range. You can only hit monsters adjacent to you, but it can never miss. And it also has an irresistible part that ignores AC. So it's pretty good. And in addition, it slows Hydras. Not Hydras. Well, yes, it does, but Hydras in the early game. It slows Adders. Okay, there we go. And it's also, I think, a pretty good hybrid sort of book. You could use this as a starting platform to go into heavy conjurations, blaster caster sort of way to play the game. Or you could also use it as more of a hybrid style. So you can go into a bit of conjurations, you can go into summoning with Ice Beast. You've got Ozokubo's armor if you want to use that for AC and for fighting. So yeah, it's a cool book. Freeze is going to be our main way to kill stuff for the first few levels, or at least. I think that was about it. No, there's a couple of things. One, being a mage as a ghoul can be a little bit painful because they're a really high strength and low int and dex race. You can see here we started off as a caster background or book start, and we still have more strength than we do int. Every 5th level you naturally get a strength, so yeah, your int is never going to be very high on a ghoul. And one final thing before we go. No, I lied, 2. The first is that we're going to make a macro for eating chunks. So hit your tilde key, which looks like this. It's shift and the one under escape normally. We're going to make a macro for eating. That sounds kind of funny, but you eat a lot as a ghoul in the middle of combat. So I'm just going to do E for eat and Y for yes. So we've now got an eating macro. I'm also going to do a macro for casting freeze. So I think that needs a dot. So ZA is a spell and a dot is to confirm. In a macro, dot means enter. Okay, so we've got our freeze, we've got our eat. We're about ready to go. One last thing, just a disclaimer. I just want to stress that this playthrough in no way endorses a belief in the occult. Alright, there we go, let's get on with it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab these stones. We're currently on a streak, not a massive one, but a streak nonetheless. So we're going to do streak player things and throw stones. We can't actually get to that guy, it looks like. Let's see if he comes to us. Doesn't look like it. I kind of want to walk away from him, maybe. Okay, yeah. Alright, ball python. So we can use F to throw things. We can test our throwing. There you go. So we got some good damage on it. And we're just going to use our freeze macro that we failed. That 9% fail. That's alright. So a mace. On most normal casters, you would pick up a weapon because you'd rather hit things with a weapon than you're unarmed. But, oh, that's too much stuff. They didn't see us, so I'm just going to shut that door. And we're not going to go in there for a while. Having kobolds or any weapon on D1 when you're experience level 1 with a weapon is basically like double damage. Right, but yeah. Okay, so as a normal cast, you would rather have a weapon, but we have claws. So we would rather claw things. One goblin on his own with a weapon is probably fine. Also, because he hasn't noticed us, we get to throw some stones. Did no damage. That one did. Alright, so we just freeze him. That's good. We haven't had any corpses yet. That would also make it... bread we can't eat, but some corpses would make us more survivable in the early game here too. There we go. Alright, so I'm not going to immediately eat those. We're going to carry those around, and then we can use those to heal during fights. Alright, I'm just going to explore with O. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Alright, good. Spellcasting to 2. We're out of mana, but it's just a random bat, so we'll just hit it. And we've got 2 corpses there, so we now have 7 chunks. Again, not going to eat them. If we ever go to hungry, it means you're going to start rotting more quickly. So see there, we took a hit, we dropped to 10, so let's try our eating macro. See? So we eat one of our chunks, the raw flesh tastes great, and we heal up again. And basically, I'm not going to demonstrate, but I'm pretty sure we could just eat through all of our... How many? We've got 4 left, and we would out heal any damage that this guy could do. Okay, we're out of magic. Let's eat again. And again. Okay, I think I lied. He's hitting us every time. And we're just sitting at 10. Alright, well we ran out of chunks. So we could start clawing him, or we could start running around these dungeon features here. We won't heal, but we will get our mana back. I think I'm okay taking another hit. We got him. Good. Got 1 extra mana. The level up took us from 2 magic points to 4, so that's really helpful. Right. Okay, it looks like our auto explore eats chunks if we get hungry. I'm not sure, but we just ate a chunk there without me actually saying to do it, which actually scares me a bit. Because I don't want the game to just eat the chunks when we auto explore. He has a short sword of freezing. That's a little bit scary, but we have innate RC, so maybe not too bad. Alright, we got him in 1. I'm going to pick that up. I don't know if we should equip it. It could be cursed, but if that's something like I don't know, it could be a +9 short sword of freezing for all we know. In which case, that would be a major boon, but it could be cursed. And would a curse +0 short sword of freezing be better than our +2 claws? I'm gonna say it might not be. One of the bonuses of a freezing weapon on these early floors is that it can slow certain monsters, but we can just do that anyway with freeze. Alright, it looks like, so I did auto explore and we're not just eating our chunks, so that's okay then. Alright, and I should have done this before, but we made it to level 2, so we can learn Throw Frost. I'm gonna change the letter of that, so if you do =S, you can change your spells around. =I does items and so on. I'm gonna put it on X, and then I'm also gonna make a macro which fires that at the nearest enemy. Probably we're not gonna use Throw Frost very much. It costs 2 mana, so we basically would only get 2 shots with it before we run out. Whereas I'd rather just use freeze 4 times. For this leopard gecko, we have chunks. Yeah, we've got 4 chunks. Okay, not that afraid. We could have potentially just closed the door, and as long as that goblin didn't wake up, he would have been trapped in there. These guys are kind of scary on early floors because they're faster than you, but they're vulnerable to cold, so they get slowed here, and we have chunks which we can eat. Yeah, really attack barehanded. Let's eat a chunk couple so we don't die here. Good. Alright, decent start. Here's a ringmail. This might be worth using. So if we basically are okay just casting freeze for the next couple of floors, which is probably what I'd want to do anyway, This is probably okay. So it's just a plain white ringmail, but it can still be cursed. So basically, if you're not prepared to actually wear the thing that you're going to test, you should not. But I think we'll be okay. Was not cursed this time. Go Shift I to look at our spells. And yeah, Wild Throw Frost is up at 41%. Freeze at 16 is fine. It's going to keep dropping as we do more ice magic and more spellcasting. So that's okay. And we went from 2 AC to 5. And our evasion went from... let's stop disrobing first. Let's deal with this guy. Okay, so it went from 12 to 10. So we lost 2 evasion, but we gained 3 AC. That's absolutely worth it. We've got 3 scrolls or something. Did we actually just pick up 3? I think we did. Yeah, okay, so it's 3 of something. If you found 3 scrolls over the course of D1, it's almost certainly going to be remove curse or identify. But if you find a pile of 3, that doesn't really tell you anything. I mean, maybe you're extremely lucky and it's 3 acquirement scrolls. So I'm not just going to immediately read those to see what it is. Okay, we got another scroll. We could test it out. We found another 2 of it. So I'm going to say this is almost... Yeah, it's got to be either remove curse or identify to find a stack of 3 and then a stack of 2 on D1. Identify, okay. Well, let's do our ring. It's a curse ring with teleport. That's why you do not just try rings on until you have remove curse. Then we're going to do our potions. Brilliance, heal wounds, very good to have, and flight, not so good. This guy just has a dagger. I thought that was a rapier tile for a second there. Okay, another plain one. Alright. Okay, we can unexclude this now. You do that with Shift X and you can go back to the square and hit E, or you can hit Control E and it will remove all exclusions on the floor that you're on. I probably shouldn't have used all of our mana on the bat when the kobold with the weapon was coming. Let's walk around a bit until we get freeze mana. We still have 4 chunks. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Alright, good. We made it to level 3. I think we just go more int. We're going to get a lot of strength naturally as a ghoul. So let's get all the intelligence we can. Alright. And so with meat, so you see we're picking up meat rations and raw jellies and so on. You can eat those at any time. They do help you with your hunger. As in, if you fall to hungry, it will help you get back up so your stats aren't getting rotted. But you don't heal from eating meat rations or any of the other things. You only heal and get your stats back from the chunks. I'm pretty sure that's correct. You certainly don't heal from rations, but I think you also don't unrot. Okay, on to D2. Let's see. These are all new scrolls. For the random scrolls that are just singles, we're not going to read those yet. Is there anything else? We've got a new potion. We can identify that. Okay, resistance. Alright. The reason I picked up the spear, by the way, is because you can get situations where you cheese stuff with spears. So say we picked up a potion of flight. There's some possibility that we might fight a difficult enemy, but there's deep water around. We could use our potion of flight to fly over the deep water and then just hit the thing with the spear. I mean, that seems unlikely, but who knows, could happen. Okay. Just taking this slowly. Worms hit really hard, so you don't want to accidentally die to them. Good. We should We could learn Ozakubo's armor, but basically wearing the ring mail, unless we train charms, there's pretty much no way that we're going to be casting this. So I think I'd rather just wait till level 4, and then we can use our spell levels to get summon Ice Beast. Because our spell casting is so bad, we're going to get spell levels pretty slowly. So yeah, if we do actually learn Ozakubo's armor, it's going to be a long while until we have 4 free again for Ice Beast. Okay, here's an adder. Just going to throw some stones, and then freeze is really good against an adder because it can't miss, and then we're immune to poison. Good, we reached level 4. Good old rocks. Good old rock throwing. When the monster is asleep, it can't ever miss. So that's really nice. That is a null pack. Always terrifying. We're going to... well, I've just used auto explore, but this is an example of why, a really good example of why it is not optimal to use auto explore in the early game when you're not very strong. So auto explore has taken us really far around in a really circuitous manner away from the stairs. When we've seen something like this null pack that we want to run from, we're going to have to do this big loop all the way around back to the stairs. And then at any point during that, monsters could be coming in from the sides, attracted by the noise. Probably okay with this null pack, but if it was something more dangerous than that even, like say Sigmund, this would be really, really dangerous. Let's just check that we're actually not running into any dead ends. It's always a bad way to die. Okay. Do we have chunks? We've got 4. Okay. With some chunks, I don't mind trying to fight the gnolls one at a time. Let's just take this guy up. But I definitely don't want to fight the whole pack at once. So we'll take him up, we'll freeze him. Okay, good. And we got... excellent. We got an extra corpse out of him. This guy has a... what has he got? It's just a flail. We should go up first, just in case there are more gnolls around. Okay, let's eat. Did our chunks all rot away? I guess they did. Okay. Alright, so for this gnoll with a flail, we're at 24 HP. I don't really feel comfortable just hitting him with the claws, because he can do 9 base damage plus his flail, which is a lot. So I'd rather just walk around. We're not going to heal, but we're going to get our mana back. Good, there we go. So it worked out. And then let's head this way. So we're not exploring really far away from the stairs again. We know over here there's a glowing helmet, but there are also at least 3 more gnolls. Let's go club. Alright. Ruined helmet. We're just going to put that on. +2 helmet. That's really good. Gives us an extra 3 AC. 1 base for the helmet and then +2 enchantment on it. Alright, Gnoll number 3. He's on his own. That's okay. Let's... the other one didn't see us, which is good. I just noticed there's a rune door here. That indicates Crazy Youth. We're not going to go in there and fight him. At least not yet. Crazy Youth has a chaos weapon. Oh boy, slings. Let's go. So if you get unlucky, he can paralyze you. He can abyss you. He can paralyze you, can roll a lek, all sorts of things. Alright, let's pick up this sling. Fortunately, it is uncursed, so that's really good. That's way better than throwing rocks is. Okay. So what I've done here is I pressed =I, and then I put the sling on A, and then when you hit the apostrophe button, it switches between your A and B slots. Because we don't have a weapon on B, we go to unarmed. And then with our hunting sling out, I'm going to quiver the sling bullets. They do more damage than the stones do. So yeah. So we're going to sling things as they approach us. We nearly killed that gnoll just with our 0 skill sling. And then when they get to us, we freeze them. Alright, so let's not go in to see Crazy Youth. Okay, I'm going to identify this potion we don't know, magic, and also the Wand of Digging. The Wand of Digging is really good to have because it lets us dig kill holes. Or say I'm an idiot and I accidentally run us into a corner, we can potentially dig out of it. Okay, these are all random ones. Tomahawks of Returning. We don't really need those. If we didn't have a sling, throwing tomahawks do more damage than throwing stones do, but would rather use the sling. And there was something I wanted to do. Okay. No, let's just wait. I was thinking we might read some of our 2 scrolls, but I'd probably rather just wait till D4. We're not in a hurry to get Remove Curse. It's not like we're carrying around any extra jewelry that I really want to test. So I'm just going to wait and then read them on the next floor, because D4 is the first potential temple floor. So would like to read our magic mapping there, if we do have magic mapping. Okay. Gotta watch out for Natasha. Fortunately, freeze is really good against her because she's quite evasive and freeze can't miss. I'm kind of tossing up what I want to do here. We have chunks, so we've got heals, that's good, but I kind of have half a mind to run to this hallway here because she can summon imps and it's better just to have her hit you rather than her and an imp. But in the time that I run up here, she's going to be able to see us, so she can shoot magic darts and also slow us. What's better? Maybe I'll just stay here. That's probably better. Okay, and now we freeze her. Alright, good. Alright, she has 3 lives, so we're probably going to see her again. Good old rats. Man, slings are so crazy. Okay. Alright, well this is terrifying. So this is the D3 Ijib. She has a glowing leather armor on. But the reason Ijib is so terrifying is that she now always has a wand. And there are a couple of wands on D3 that will just straight up kill you if she has them. So she might have an acid wand, she might have a paralysis wand, or she could have a lightning wand. And I think if she's got lightning, you definitely don't want to be getting double zapped. I don't think she can double zap us here. Otherwise, we could move 1 right, but that's another turn that we could get acid wanded. Because she's right next to us, there's really not much we could do. We have a potion of heal wounds if we are about to get acid bolted. And yeah, that's about it. So we just have to hope that no acid, no paralysis, no lightning. There's really not much you can do against a really nasty Ijib on D3. Also, could have, what's the other one? Disintegration. That also really hurts, and you don't have the MR this early to resist those. So let's go. Okay. Ijib zaps a wand. It's paralysis. Okay. So it's really bad. We probably got, at best, I'd say about a 40% chance to resist it, if not a 50-50. But at least Ijib is just on her own this time. If she paralyzes you and there's something like a gnoll or 2 around, can be really nasty. But she can chain stun you and kill you on her own. I probably would rather that though than the acid and lightning. Okay, so there we go. We're paralyzed. We can move again. Okay, there we go. We did it. Okay. She has an enchanted club. Interesting. And a glowing leather armor. I'm going to pick up the leather armor. It could be something like, I don't know, fire resistance or something useful like that. But I'm not going to put it on because it might also just be cursed. So until we get remove curse, I'm not going to do that. Also, we can then summon Ice Beast now. So let's do that. I'm going to put that on Z, I guess. And Just thinking if we should start pumping our summonings. I'm going to say no, not just yet. Let's get our ice magic to maybe 6. We'll get our spellcasting to maybe 4. I don't know. Go Sif. Oh, right, because we found some altars. Well, I've been trying to play new gods every time. So we're kind of running out of gods, but I've played both Sif and MacLab so far. So not going to pick those. I'm going to pick one of the new gods. Yeah, I really don't know what to do about this summon Ice Beast. Because it'd be really good to have summon Ice Beast, but we have such low magic points that we can cast 2 and then we're out of magic. This is the Ghoul caster struggle. I guess it's worth at least just turning summons on, even if we don't focus it at this point. We'll start working towards it. Okay. Natasha around 2. We'll step around the corner. Let's at least get our mana back. That really hurt. We're pretty tanky though. So we've got 27 HP out of still. 42 max is really high for this point in the game. And we have chunks, so we can heal. We're slowed, but that's okay. It's more int. Also, if for some reason you're doing turn count speedrunning, you can actually use the Ghoul healing to never actually have to rest. So that's cool too. That's a interesting cockroach vault by the look of it. It's also one of the reasons that people like playing Chaos Knights of Zom. And that's because you can just eat corpses to heal, in which case Zom gets really bored when you rest. So without resting, he doesn't punish you as much. Okay, we've got 32 sling bullets, that's really nice. Good old slings. That's my Ultraviolent 4 #1 tip to win the early game. On any combo, just pick up a sling. That's the 3rd time we beat Natasha, so she's dead now, forever. Also going to check this hatch. Basically, on our orb run, we might want to be taking hatches up, in which case we now have seen where it goes. Okay, so zombies are cold resistant, or they're actually very resistant. But one of the cool things about freeze, okay, it's actually just doing no damage. Okay, but I think it partially ignores AC. Oh man. We get asked every time if we really want to attack barehanded, because we have the sling and we have a short sword and a spear. That's kind of annoying. Right, so let's see. Certainly not going to put on the artifact scale mail. It's going to be really heavy, which is going to hurt our casting, but also could be cursed, could have all sorts of bad properties to it. Like, well, contamination isn't so bad because we can't get mutated, but it could have drain on it. And also, until we get remove curse, I don't really want to try the rune staff either. If I hit backslash, we can look at our auto pickup. I'm going to turn on magical staves. So there are a bunch that could be really good for us. Alright, now that we're on D4, we're just going to read all our scrolls. Do it on the stairs though, in case you get teleports, then you can go back upstairs. Like this, you just go back up. There you go, so you don't get thrown around on a new floor. Amnesia. None of those I really want to forget. I mean, we haven't cast a single Throw Frost, but that's okay. It's still good to have a cold-based range spell that we can use in a pinch. Enchant weapon. We may as well do our sling. That's our primary weapon. Looks like Scroll of Noise. That's another reason you want to be on the stair. There's our remove curse. Do we have a second? We do. Alright, well we can try the glowing leather armor in a sec. And recharging. I guess paralysis is really good. Okay, well I did paralysis. And actually, the next identify scroll we have, I think we probably should put on the paralysis. What are ghouls like at evocations -1? Okay. An early evocations one like this is one reason that you might potentially choose to train evocations. Alright, this stuff's all coming to investigate the noise. So let's get the adder. Okay. The Phantom's red. He's kind of dangerous and also kind of not. But the Hound won't follow us upstairs, so I want to get... Yeah, just kill him and then we'll go up and we'll rest. The Phantom's, I think, immune to cold. He's very resistant. Okay, he can hit for up to 10, but he also blinks, so it's hard for him to stay on top of you. Let's maybe... The sling is maybe the best way to do this. Here's a double ogre. Wow. Alright, well we'll take the Phantom up. We're going to exclude this stair. We're not going down there for a while. If we do ever get to identify our paralysis wand, that's a very good way to kill early ogres. Even without any evocation skill, because they have low MR. We're slowly getting this guy with our sling. Alright, got him. Sweet. Good old 0 skill slings. And we're picking a new stair. We don't want anything to do with 2 ogres at once, let alone one. Is that more Tomahawks returning? Okay. Here's another one. Let's see. We could... No, okay, it's too dangerous. I was going to say we could start throwing out some sling bullets and see how we go. Oh wait, no, that's a dangerous one. Why did I do this one? Oh, these 2 stairs are both near the double ogres. Okay, so we've got ogres camping every stair. Alright, don't take the hatch. You might land next to the ogres anyway, or even more ogres. That's the one that they would have been running to, so I'd rather go to at least this one. New Phantom and another ogre. Just for science, what's the paralysis on an ogre look like? 46%, that's pretty good. But our problem is, we've got the Phantom here. We'll take him up. We'll deal with him in the same manner. By just slinging him. We ran out of chunks, so we can't heal anymore. But the thing about his blinking is that it's very difficult for him to stay on top of us. So we can always just go back upstairs if somehow we're dying. Probably could. He's got better MR, so he's got a 28% for paralysis. We ran out of ammunition. Yes, really attack barehanded. Come on. Maybe we'll just pick up some of this ammunition and we can keep slinging him. Get the sling bullets. There we go, on the last one. Okay, good. Alright. So we don't want to go back down that stair because the ogre is probably there. You see here we've been rotted a bit, so we've lost 4 of our HP, max HP. And we're going to go down this one? No. Oh wait, is it saying the ogre was no longer there? No, well, we'll do this stair. Good old ogre troubles. He was right there. Alright, let's take him up. Basically, ogres are terrifying because they do 17 damage plus their club, which is a lot. Okay, so he could come close to killing us with one more swing. He could 2-shot us, probably. And our issue is that we can't walk around to heal up. We could walk around to try to get a gap and then go back down, but I don't know that I just want to fight him. Maybe let's try paralysis. Oh, this is so scary. Okay, well, we got him. Okay, we just succeeded. So yes, let's attack barehanded. I don't know if this was better than using the sling when he was paralyzed. I don't know. But in any case, got lucky, rolled well. It's a mark of a good crawl player. Rolls well. Warded Confusion does much the same thing as the paralysis one, but not as good, because monsters that are confused can still accidentally hit you. But maybe that would be better to use, because it's less valuable. Okay, there we go. Good. Potentially better to use before we've identified them, because yeah, I'd rather keep the paralysis one. Whenever you zap ones, if you don't know how many charges they have, you waste them. So this has been zapped 8, this has been zapped 5. And I think because we're rotted, I'm just going to eat those chunks to get our HP back. Well, we got some of it. Let's get... oh, we got the rest. Okay, so that does seem to be what happens. When you're rotted, the auto-eat just then eats. Another scroll. We've done noise and teleport. They're the ones we want to be on stairs for. So I'll just read this. It's magic mapping. Let's have a look around. I'm searching for downstairs. If the temple were here, it would show us. It's not. And I don't see any other altars anywhere on the floor. They'd show up on your mini-map. Like these. So the light blue is the upstairs. The pink is the downstairs. And altars, I think, are maybe... I don't know. Let's just wait for the next floor and then we can tell you for sure, rather than guessing the wrong thing. Okay, this guy's half dead. I don't mind freezing him. This is probably really risky. It is. Okay. I don't know. That was probably not wise, but again, I did it. And it worked, so it must have been correct. Ooh. An artifact ring mail is much more appealing to me than the artifact scale mail. Alright, we're going to read this. It's immolation. Okay, well here we go. Here's an identify. So I think I'd rather do it on the ring mail. Okay, it's a +4 ring mail with RF and arc corrosion. I forgot that I was going to do the wand of paralysis, which is probably better, but I was just so excited about this ring mail. So let's do that. That's an upgrade. I will check the leather armor. It's +1 poison resistance. Poison resistance is much more exciting when you don't have it innately. Alright, so we go to this ring mail. We get up to 12 AC now. So we're pretty tanky. Here's a Sky Beast on D4, that's really early. Okay. Cool tip about freeze, it never misses even on invis things. So I know it's there, so I can hit Shift Z, which you need to do when no monsters are visible, and we can still freeze him. Cool. We got spellcasting up, we got ice magic up. I feel like, let's have a look at our spells. So go Shift I and then exclamation mark. We can have a look at the power of our spells. Freeze is still not at full power, so I don't mind going a little bit more ice, maybe to 8, and then we'll turn that off and we'll get our summon ice beast going. Yep. Alright, on to D5. We don't have any more magic mapping, so we can't do that. He's got a Flail of Protection. It's not so bad. The Orc Priest is bad, although we have such high HP, 66, that he's probably not going to kill us with 17 max smites. As in 17 damage is the max that a smite can do. New book, Book of Maledictions. So this is the Hexa starting book. What ghouls are -2 on Hexas, not very good. I'm going to carry it with us as a potential that we could dip into Hexas. But I'm not in any particular rush. Another 13 sling bullets. It's raining sling bullets right now. Jeez. Look at those slings. I wonder if the Flail of Protection is actually probably better than using Unarmed Claws. Okay, so it's +1, but if we hit something with it, we get 7 extra AC, which is huge in the early game. So yeah. And what does it swing at? 1.4, so it swings really slowly. So you just gotta be careful with that. Wow, okay. Good old traps, the wall. Aren't traps so fun and exciting? So it's thrown us in between a whole bunch of things. Fortunately, we have a digging wand, so we can dig through here. There's Grinder. Alright, let's XP Grinder. Grinder is always really scary, so Grinder has a 50% paralyzed chance on us. Okay, we've got stuff in the way, but I think we can paralyze her back. Okay, as long as no Orc Priest comes. If a Priest comes, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, okay, so we've got 2 heal wounds, but we don't have any. We've got 1 chunk, which we could eat, but we don't have any teleport scrolls. So basically, this teleport trap really messed us up. I almost want to say if we didn't have this digging wand, we might have almost certainly died here. We've got even more stuff coming. I'm just thinking if I want to also dig down. Okay. Oh, there's something invis there. That's got to be in. Yeah, there's an invis wizard here. Okay, we got him. Okay. So I'm moving forward to butcher these corpses, and then we're just going to eat those. At the moment, the only thing hitting us is this orc with a trident, but we can out heal him. So okay, we butchered everything. Let's pick up these 5 chunks. Okay, so that makes us much more survivable here. Alright. And if we can just get the trident guy, yeah, that's much better. Again, I'm keeping our magic for Grinder. Ooh dear, okay, let's test out our paralysis. It's 46%. I think we did it. Oh, we're using stones. Oh, we ran out of sling bullets. It's probably better to use our Flail of Protection here against Grinder. Okay, so we go up to 19 AC when we do that. Okay, good. Thank you, early paralysis wand. Right, and we get a whole bunch of corpses out of this. So it turned out pretty well thanks to digging, but that was a really bad and threatening teleport trap. Let's do our rune stuff. Stuff of energy. Well, this would be really exciting if we cared at all about spell hunger. But we don't. You can use this to channel mana if you have evocations training, which is actually pretty insane, again, on someone who doesn't care about hunger. So maybe this would be a really good reason to train evocations, but I still don't want to. I don't know. I'd rather just try to get more spellcasting for more mana and get our Summon Ice Beast going, rather than worrying at all about extra things. Okay, that takes... Our freeze is still not full power, but I think 8 is fine for just now. So we're going to focus our summons, and then let's get Ice Beast going. And we're going to keep doing fighting, and we're going to keep doing spellcasting. Could maybe make a case for turning on dodging or armor. Dodging probably better in the armor that we're in. But both of those are pretty good. But again, would just rather get our spells going. Summon Ice Beast is a really strong spell. You can use that spell on its own to take you through a decent chunk of a 3-rune game. The reason I'm not freezing this guy is because he's very resistant to cold. So we're just using our sling. He's also not really threatening at all because his main damage is pain, and we are what is that thing? We are immune to negative energy, so really not very threatening. We have removed curse, So I don't mind trying these rings. Positive energy. Well, we can remember to do that. But again, we're immune to negative energy, so we don't need that. And as for amulets, if it's draining, that would be bad, but basically anything else is better. Oh, okay, well, an amulet of rage literally does nothing because we can't rage. We can't berserk as a ghoul. That was Rue. We've done Rue. Okay, so on to D6. There's Sigmund. Has not seen us. We could just run away from him. We could also, we've got about a 54% chance to paralyze him. His confuse is 40%. I don't know, we've got 67 HP and no chunks, but I'd be surprised if Sigmund can kill us from 67% HP before we get a confusion on him. Okay, there we go. I'm making sure we're hitting Sigmund, not the centaur. Oh, right, Sigmund's back. Actually, we can just freeze him. Okay, never mind, we got confused. I regret my decision, although, oh wait, I was going to say we can just sit here and Sigmund can't get us. But of course he has a polearm, so that's not true at all. Okay, do we just go up? No, because if he confuses us, we can just go back upstairs and he won't follow. So let's see, what do we do? We've got a 41% chance on Ice Beast, but it's red. I think we throw Frost at him. We got him. Missed. Got him. There we go. One more. Yeah. Not as scary on D6 as he is when you find him on D2. Recharging again. So I guess we want to put that on our paralysis wand, but we don't know how many charges are on here. So I don't want to do it yet because we might be wasting it. The quarterstaff, I guess we'll just test it. It's a +1 quarterstaff of crushing, that's not too exciting. Quarterstaves are quite a good weapon type, as in they do pretty good base damage for how much skill they require. But they're two-handed, so no shield. And now that I'm thinking about uniques who are dangerous on D2, we maybe want to go get Youth. Now that we have a paralysis wand, we could pretty reliably just paralyze Youth, and then we don't have a cloak. He always has a cloak, so that will be +1 AC, and it might be magical. Let's identify the wand of paralysis. It's got 4, okay, so we'll immediately recharge that. 17, wow, that was an amazing roll. The slave indicates Pikel. It turns out we can freeze the slaves pretty well. We just got trapped again, so we got alarm trapped. These stone walls in here indicate perhaps a vault that has, oh god, here's Duvessa, that has altars in it. Alright. Well, I certainly don't want to fight Pikel and Duvessa at the same time. Duvessa will never follow you upstairs with Doan, so I can just go up and we'll get away from her. But I don't really want to fight Pikel. Okay, so we're just going to go up. Let's X that stair out. Let's go fight Crazy Youth. This is on D2. And he is over here. Okay. Well, he hasn't seen it at us at all. Did we get him? He stopped moving. Okay, yep. He's just got a plain cloak. So no magical cloak, but that's still an extra AC. Go from 12 to 13. Alright, cool. And I think we'll maybe stop this one here. So we'll deal with the insanity that was D6 when we come back for the next one. We need to find our temple. It would be very nice to have a god. Alright, yep, so we'll continue on next time. See you then.